St. Anthony, he was just a people person, and he's in your heart. And people come from all walks of life, no matter what. All the feasts are great, but St. Anthony, they just have the followers.
People come and they go and whatever, but you come back, and it's just that St. Anthony is just so beloved by so many.
Look at the people that come here. It's every year. You don't even have to invite them; they're gonna come.
Viva San Antonio! Viva Santa Lucia! Viva!
St. Anthony's Feast and the Circle of Friends is brought to you by Regina Pizza, Filippo Berio Olive Oil, Massimino's Cucina Italiana, Galbani Cheese, Peroni Beer, and the 92nd Annual St. Anthony's Feast.
I've been involved with the feast since I was a kid. My father used to have a bakery on Endicott Street. And I remember the days going to work with my father, I'd be outside, be selling Sicilian pizzas. And it was like, wow, it was great. But the best day was on a Sunday when the saint would come by, the confetti flying down, and I'd be kicking the confetti all around. It was the greatest memories. Now, 40 years later, I'm here with my own children working the feast. So the tradition just keeps passing on and on.
Viva Pizza Regina! Viva!
To the Italians, food is life. And the essential ingredient to celebrate it? Extra virgin olive oil. Take it from Filippo Berio Olive Oil. The secret to Italian cooking is fresh, simple ingredients. Like the sweet Sicilian blood orange. It's seedless, easy to peel, and striking in color. Cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, white wine vinegar, salt, pepper, and chopped olives create a simple salad with a balance of contrasting tastes. Pesto is derived from the Italian word for crush. Fresh basil, garlic, pine nuts, and Parmesan are crushed together with extra virgin olive oil. Roasted red pepper, sun-dried tomato, or lemon can be added. But this Italian staple works with pasta, as a marinade, or as a dip. Italians get the most from their ingredients. Even stale bread is used, with tomato, cucumber, red onion, and extra virgin olive oil to make refreshing panzanella. So keep it simple and live life Italian style. All you need are the right ingredients and Filippo Berio olive oil.
A lot of the immigrants that had migrated here to America settled specifically in this part of the North End, and coming here brought with them obviously their faith, and the patron saint was St. Anthony of Montefeltro, which is the province in Italy. It started out just as a neighborhood get-together to celebrate, being in America, bringing their faith with them, and it just seems to grow year to year. And what used to be a local thing has now become nationally known, and actually internationally known too, because so many people just seem to come back every year for the festival and have a great time.
I was born in a small town in Italy called Montefeltro, which is about 30 kilometers southeast of Naples. My town is where St. Anthony's Feast started. We run the feast simultaneously here in Boston and in Montefeltro.
Right, as we're marching today, right now, they're marching in Italy, in Montefeltro, because they're 6 hours ahead. They started a little later, so St. Anthony is marching there as well as here.
The folks in Montefeltro settled on Endicott Street in the area where our festival is. So it was kind of like the Endicott boys running their back home feast in the neighborhood.
And my father was one of the first to become the member here. They started this society.
The St. Anthony's Club. It was formed, I guess, for the purpose of charity. So they rented a store and they put the name on the door, St. Anthony of Montefeltro, and they had their meetings once a week. And it was a place to go for them to meet their paisanos, which is their friends, their distant cousins, and the people they actually grew up with in Italy. They knew all their relatives, and they knew each other very well.
I was born in the North End in 1925, and 84, 85 North Margin Street. And getting along with each other, it was amazing because we come from Italy, you get 29 different dialects, you know, and then you couldn't, and some Italian people couldn't understand the other Italian people because they were from a different area. We got along good. Everybody helped out each other. It's amazing. Anybody's in trouble, the family's there for you. You know, even the bakery, Catalupo Bakery. You get the day-old bread, and you go, well, give it to this person, the next, that person. Spread it around a little, you know? And everybody, they helped each other so much that we managed to get through the tough times. Our playgrounds were always the streets. You didn't worry about cars, there wasn't many.
The immigrants that came here brought three major gifts with them, three major valuable gifts with them. They were their culture, their heritage, as well as their faith. St. Anthony is the patron saint of Montefeltro. This is the same tradition that's been ongoing for all those years, and it's something that we're very proud of continuing up till now.
I think he's a patron saint of everyone. I mean, they tell me that in Portugal and Spain and France, he's just as well worshipped and respected as in Italy.
If you lose things and you need favors, people always pray, St. Anthony, where are you? I lost something and it must be found, and you just finish off with a little prayer and you'll find it. You should usually, most of the times you do, most of the times, I believe it.
It's about giving back to charity, people that are not as successful or as happy or as financially secure as we are, and that's what we're here for. They don't put the money on the saint in Italy. They put it on a banner. So in America, that's where it's different. In Boston, we actually put the money on the saint. In Italy, they can't touch a saint.
Most the same.
For me, I look forward to it as a young boy because Fiesta is coming. My father may give me some position, or he made me tell me do something for the Fiesta, and it impressed me. When the Fiesta came, it was the biggest thing to me ever. I followed my father everywhere because he was the kingpin, you know.
I've been coming to this feast till I was a small boy, and the Capolas lived on Endicott Street. They're my relatives. We used to come down here every year for the festival, and it's very special to me and my family.
When I was a kid, I lived in Thatcher Court, a little alleyway off of Thatcher Street. In the front of that, on North Washington Street, was a shoemaker down the cellar that owned the building, and he had the statue up on the third floor. And they kept the St. Anthony statue on the third floor, and they used to come out on the Friday night from the third floor. They used to carry it down the stairs and around the corner to the chapel.
They would take it out on a Friday, and I would be there with my father. And it affected me. I was part of that way of life. I walked with my father. They marched a few streets with the saint. When the paisanas came to my house or we went to their house, they hugged and kissed each other. They had tears in their eyes filled, because it was their time, it was their fiesta, it was their time to raise money for charity. That's the way they looked at it.
I was brought up in Italy, and the best dish we would make would be the Santa Cut of the pork, right here. So today what I'm going to be making for you folks is a pork chop with vinegar, peppers, and potato. It's one of those dishes you really got to be patient with it. I really let it cook on its own time. We're going to add the vinegar, peppers, and that vinegar juice will get in there. The vinegar mixing with the oil is where all the flavor is starting to come together. A truly Italian dish that comes from Montefeltro, where St. Anthony's feast began.
In Italy, there's one cheese brand that's preferred above all others.
Galbani!
Galbani. Now Galbani is crafted here in the U.S., introducing Galbani Mozzarella Fresca, made in the truly Italian fior di latte tradition for a moist, melt-in-your-mouth, deliciously Italian taste.
Galbani.
Galbani. Experience the true Italian taste of Galbani Mozzarella Fresca from Italy's favorite cheese brand.
What it takes to make this feast operate properly is we create a team. Our team is our feast committee. What the feast committee does, starting the day after the feast, and I mean the day after, the Tuesday after the feast, is we get together and find out what it's going to take to be successful next year, whatever we need. So, you know, we work really hard during the course of the year to make 300,000 people enjoy this festival over a 4-day period.
We look forward to this all year long. I grew up right on Endicott Street. My windows face the bandstand right across his family's home. So, I mean, we grew up with this.
We have a membership of about 130. My guess is we have about 40 members here today, giving up some of their time to make it all happen. Again, we look at it as an honor of keeping the tradition going. A lot of the members here, their fathers and grandfathers were part of this organization, and they come back every year to help continue the tradition. Throughout the week, most of the vendors will start getting situated towards the end of the week, and then we're ready to go by 6 p.m. on Friday.
Everybody had a job. I'm the balloon guy, so I have to get the balloon, the helium, then the fireworks, and then you have the food people, and the bread people, and the pizza people, and the lasagna people. But my grandmother, like I said, at Chingwandanabo with the 50 grandchildren, and we all keep this tradition together.
What happens the weekend of the feast is that on Sundays, all the families get together. So usually it's about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Everybody will pick one house. Everybody goes there, they all eat, and then when they're done eating, they'll go out, and parade with the say, hang out at the feast, depending on what they want to do.
Eggplant parmesan, pizza, stuff like
Ensalada, everything. You just name it, we have it. And homemade wine, and we have salsiccia, and
Fried calamari, sausage and peppers, pasta.
Cherries that were preserved all year in wine, and they put them in dishes. You know how they preserve cherries, and they take them out. They're delicious, and you'd eat one, and I think you were drunk.
Right around the corner here is the St. Anthony Outdoor Chapel. That's where the statue of St. Anthony will be carried on Friday evening, be placed in that outdoor chapel. He'll remain all throughout the weekend, 24 hours a day, the entire time the feast takes place.
St. Anthony will come out tomorrow night at about 7 o'clock, between 7 and 7:30 will be his debut. He'll be dressed in his coat of gold at noontime. And just the prep work is begun already. He's in place and as anxious as we are to get going.
This is, we could just call it St. Anthony's coat. And this has been donated, the items on here, from pocket watches to wedding rings, engagement rings, earrings, has been donated throughout the years in our 90-year history. From the first year, from 1919 till today, we have new pieces that Nadalina's going to sew on. I mean, it's just a marvelous thing to look at, and just to see how much St. Anthony is loved by so many people that they would give part of themselves to him. It's a beautiful gold pocket watch with a gold chain. So the Sunday of the parade, we'll set it at around 11 o'clock, and we'll know actually when to take the saint out by the time on the watch.
A lot of people, the one that donate gold to St. Anthony is because we ask a St. Anthony for a favor. St. Anthony means a lot to me. St. Anthony, to me person, is my life. It's a part of just my life. It's my brother, my father, my friend.
This church was behind the St. Leonard's, was the first church built by Italian immigrants and the first to have a shrine to St. Anthony. Immigrants that came here, I think they were poor and they were looking for something, and he's the patron saint of the poor, and it was a natural affinity to honor St. Anthony.
My name is Father Antonio, and I am the pastor of this church. I came to Boston 5 years ago from Italy. So ever since I was assigned to this, I've been in this parish. I am a member of the Franciscan order, to which St. Anthony belonged. We have the privilege of having among us an outstanding relic of St. Anthony. What is a relic? A relic is part of the body of a saint. This is part of one of the ribs of St. Anthony. So that bone very close to the heart of the saint. We venerate the relics because they remind us of great friends of Jesus.
He's probably mostly known for the fact that when people do something, they pray to St. Anthony to find it. And in most cases, it seems to be the miracle that works.
My brother, he had a diamond pinky ring. He was throwing the paper at the feast. It fell off his finger. He prayed and prayed. He found the ring.
I used to be an MDC police officer. I was down to Fenway, so I'm walking in there, and an art student comes by. She goes by in her home, and then she comes back. I said, what's wrong? She says, I lost a slide of a photo I got that I got to use in my class. So I says, are you a Catholic? She says, no. I says, look. I says, well, let's pray to St. Anthony. I said, let's pray. We went around, prayed to St. Anthony, and from here to there, in the grass, she found this little slide. Imagine that. And this was a person that didn't believe in St. Anthony. But there it came, you know? And this happens a lot. I mean, I'll lose a golf ball, I play golf, and I pray to St. Anthony, and I'll find it. You know, maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have, but when I know I get it quick, I don't lose a point or something, you know.
I heard that unwed people who are trying to conceive have prayed to him, and I know people in the North End where it has worked. They credit him that they want to have a child, they have a little difficulty, and they invoke his name, and that has happened to a few people in the North End, I know.
My niece, when we were younger, had cancer, and that's what we prayed to is St. Anthony, and she was cured.
Gerard loses keys all the time. He knows.
Yeah, I got an open line to St. Anthony.
Friday evening begins with the opening ceremonies of St. Anthony's Feast, beginning at 6:30 p.m., where hundreds of people gather to watch the arrival of St. Anthony as he comes out of his indoor chapel, short procession through the streets, where he remains in his outdoor chapel throughout the weekend.
On Saturday, you know, we're meeting and greeting all the different sponsors that are coming in. We have a reception for the sponsors.
Culinary demos, live entertainment on our main stages.
And then on Sunday at 12 o'clock, it's when it all happens. We take St. Anthony out on the streets, and we walk them through many of the streets.
On the shoulders of members for about 10 hours, accompanied by marching bands, strolling singers, devotees to St. Anthony.
And this is where the people, you know, make wishes, ask for things from St. Anthony. They pin some money on them. Everybody's safe, everybody's happy, and we have a big party.
Take St. Anthony out of here.
When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Well, I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way, my girl? Talking about
Peroni Nastro Azzurro, Italy.
Back in 1919, on the weekend before Labor Day, in Boston's historic North End, a group of Italian immigrants founded the Feast of St. Anthony, a tribute to the traditions and spirit of their heritage. This year marks the 92nd anniversary of the feast. Italian food, cooking demos, parades, live entertainment, games, and the procession of St. Anthony on Sunday are what makes it New England's feast of all feasts. Join us August 26th through the 28th in the North End for the 92nd St. Anthony's Feast. Before you know it, you'll be saying Buona Festa. See you there!
First time I carried St. Anthony, I was 100 feet tall. I finally got to be 5 foot 6 inches high, and they put me under St. Anthony for 10 minutes. It was the highlight of my life. I was 16 years old, and I ran home and told my mother I carried St. Anthony, and it was just, it's undescribable.
Just think about it. I mean, we walk around for 10 hours. We carry that saint. that starts off at so many pounds, and then as money piles up on him, even gets heavier and heavier. And all that money, we donate back. So as a society, we sit here and we say, okay, you know, this person needs a little bit of money to have an operation, or this person needs this for a little schooling, or this person needs books, or this person needs clothes. And we give that all back. So I think that's what's special, and it's not us doing it. It's actually St. Anthony, because we're actually celebrating his life. You know, we want everybody to be able to kiss them and maybe have a prayer or thank them, or say, you know, someone's sick in the family, or can you help me here? Or I lost my credit card, something. That's what it's about. Can you help me? It's about faith.
I think it'd be important to have the kids continue with the respect of St. Anthony and the devotion to St. Anthony, and have them know that, you know, if you lose something, pray to St. Anthony, and the religion will never go out of it. It's a tradition that will be kept.
Michael started as a baby. He always was fascinated how they would march. So around my house, he would get a little statue and march around my house. And then he had my husband build a little grotto, like St. Anthony has. And he would march around with that. And then he made me roll up money so that we had to put it on the statue. And he would go outside and do the same thing. And he kind of became a mascot, I would call him. So.
We used to have 300-400 people stop by our house, never calling them to say St. Anthony's Feast. That's where it was. Everybody knew where to come. That was the life.
He used to do the same thing out front of the house, cook the sausages and all that. We used to stay there till 2 o'clock in the morning.
2, 4 o'clock in the morning. It was just all night. It went on and on and on all evening.
The tradition of going into the Pizzeria Regina, I believe, started right after World War II. It was kind of when the Pocari family, who were the founding fathers of the feast, had kind of invited everybody in, and as a celebratory gesture, inviting everybody in for something to drink and have a bite to eat. It seems to have grown through the years. It's a tradition that actually became very part of St. Anthony's Feast and something we look forward to every year.
that is what we look forward to every single year. And the bittersweet is that, we know we've completed a great feast when we're coming down the street, but it's also sad because now we know it's over, and it's something that we love doing, so we have to wait a whole nother year to do it all over again.
It is just the highlight of our year. To put it into words and to explain it to you, if you haven't experienced it, it's difficult to explain. It's just part of our life, part of our culture. It's what we grew up with.
We just say Buona Festa, which means happy feast. Happy feast.
Back in 1919, on the weekend before Labor Day, in Boston's historic North End, a group of Italian immigrants founded the Feast of St. Anthony, a tribute to the traditions and spirit of their heritage. This year marks the 92nd anniversary of the feast. Italian food, cooking demos, parades, live entertainment, games, and the procession of St. Anthony on Sunday are what makes it New England's feast of all feasts. Join us August 26th through the 28th in the North End for the 92nd St. Anthony's Feast. Before you know it, you'll be saying Buona Festa. See you there!